Today I've been standing all through here. I'm not tired all this while, so I'm not expecting those sitting to be tired. All right, so let me quickly run through my slides. Uh, Thank you, Mr. Olu. You have made my presentation easier. Many things I'm supposed to say it, you have already talked about them. So I can go straight to the points and make my presentation brief. So in fact, I'm not going to talk about this because he has already said something there, but I can start from here. So there were so many discussions about technologies that are used in the HR processes or HR activities. And that for recruitment, very popular. We know there are many, online technologies that are used for, job application and what have you. So some example, we have the LinkedIn, we have the Indian, Glassdoor, Jobberman, and so many other ones are used for recruitment process. And another one, well, when it comes to record management or data management, that is employee information systems. So we have the 1010 data, Calibra, Hightech, and many other ones that are used for managing, staff information. We have the payroll management system, various of them, hundreds of them. We have the communication, that how the employee do communicate within an organization. We have the teams, we have various email services, we have various chats, the Facebook messengers, WhatsApp, they are all used for some office activities. And then when it comes to evaluating staff performances, we also have some various technologies that are doing. But one problem that we will observe from here, these are different platforms. So which means if you want to manage your organization as a human resource manager, you have to use probably more than 6 platforms. You see, different for the employment process, different one for the information management, different one for the payroll, for the communication, and for the staff evaluation. And in fact, if you need some other feature or some other things within your organization, you may likely have to get another one. So, but then some companies say, oh, let's see how we can match some of these services. So some will match maybe the payroll and the maybe staff onboarding or information management. We have more than 500 technologies for human resources online. These are the most popular ones that I just mentioned: the Bright HR, Monday.com, Gusto, Bullhorn, and the Bamboo HR. But again, even though this will offer us at least one, two or more of the services that are previously mentioned, but they also have an issue. For example, pricing. Most of these technology, they are very, very expensive. In fact, they do charge per person, per user. And I think most of them minimum charge you maybe like 55 pounds when you have like 200 staff. So you imagine that you multiply 55 pounds by the number that you have. So if you have like 10,000 staff, how much are you going to spend to have an effective HR management? And then flexibility. They already define the service that you can have from the system. So if you need something extra, you still have to go back to look for another system that can offer you. So it's not that very much flexible. Still going with the limited features. And then data security and privacy. Because it's a platform for various organizations, if it happens that one of the user is very negligent about data and he allowed himself to be vulnerable to hackers, once he gets hacked, everyone can get affected. Any other organization using that platform can get affected. So the data is not very much secure. And then they have generic access, or like generic access and domain, means that if I'm using Bright HR, anytime I want to use a platform, I need to go to www.brighthr.com to have that access. So everyone, any other person using that service, has to go there. And then we have the same interface. Whether it is simple, it is difficult, whatever it is, what we all see the same thing. So what can we do? As a young innovator, being exposed in the HR industry, I think outside the box and said, oh, let me come up with something that can provide some of this solution. And I developed this app called Nasara HR. And it has looked at those problems to see, to come up with that, with the solution. For example, I developed it on an architecture that is called multi-tenant. What it does, in a multi-tenant architecture, you can run multiple applications using the same service and also different databases. So I have the service, I can run 5 applications on that same service, and all these services will be using different databases. So that enabled that app, to have a very good skilled data, like to have a data privacy or kind of a data ownership. Because if one of the users of that service get exposed, all the other ones are protected, because you are not sharing databases, just like the other apps that you share database. And one thing with this app, even though you are running the same service, but you have a unique domain. So you are not going to be using Nasara HR if you want to have access to the system. If your organization is ABC, you will have abc.com, when whoever is using the app from your organization will be accessing that app through the name of your organization. In fact, if you have no discussion with anyone, nobody will know you are running a service, a third-party service. And then it is scalable. I've told you earlier that I use an architect that allows you to run multiple applications. The application can be different, so they don't have to be the same thing. I know it's an HR, but you might require a particular service that the other person does not require. So this application allows that flexibility. So you can have your separate service that is not in the other person's application. So you can have something different that you also don't have. But the other ones, if they made an update, it goes to everyone. And if something is missing, everyone is missing that. But here, the app can tie, the activities that you are doing in your organization. So if you don't do something, you don't need that service. And if you need something that is very important to your organization, you can have that very easily. And then the features are unlimited because it's scalable, flexible. You can have as many other features from that system. It's a kind of it has a kind of a self-service function or ability that you can add so many other functions that are not there. And then affordability. Using this service, it's just a year subscription, not per employee, which makes it very, very affordable. And I know some of the participants of this event comes from a country that may be facing maybe having issues in terms of finance and other things when it comes to HR management. So this could be an option to ease the transformation process. And one thing we can have the lectures, the experiences, and other things, and we have the passion to go back to do it in our country. But if we don't have the resources to do it, it might not be possible for us to do. And developing these systems from scratch, they are actually they consume a lot of resources. So with this system that is very affordable, you can have easy transformation process in the HR activities. So I would like to run us through the app, and a little to have a little feelings about how the app looks like, and what are how the functions I've mentioned, how are they? Mr. Olu have mentioned the payroll activities, the onboarding activities, the leaves, the benefit, whatever. So let me run through that. So this is the login process. And once you log in, it takes you to the dashboard. So in here you can see, and in fact, one wonderful thing that I forget to mention about this, it also have a project management, a bit of project management activities. I recently, attend course from Mr. Olu here about project management, and I feel like it's very important, an organization, every organization should have a kind of, should automate their project management activities. So you can see from the dashboard, you can see the number of employees. These are people who apply for leaves. These are the projects that are ongoing. These are some staffs who apply for loan, and these are the pending loan application. These are the upcoming project. Maybe it has been, documented, but the project have not yet started. This is a pending leave application, and these are former employees. So even when an employee exits, his information still remain there, because probably you may be handling some activities within the organization that are important, which any other employee comes, he continue from where he started. So and then from the project management, you can see we have the project there, we have a to-do list. So any task that has been assigned to the staff is going to appear in his dashboard, and that once he finish, if you tick in the other in the checkbox there, then it shows finish. So these are some announcement. If an organization runs an announcement, it shows there. So okay, here I just try to show creating a new task. So if the task is done, just click there and it shows, so I'm done with this activity. So I can move to the next one. So so department here can be created, as much department as in the organization. Because of time, let me make some forward. So onboarding, Mr. Oli was asking about onboarding process that is taking 3 months. With this application, the entire onboarding process will not last an hour. The uploads, the documentation of the documenting the account details, address, emergency, all the information that are required during the onboarding process. With this system, it is as easy as eating good food, like we said. Yeah. So I even have a disciplinary section. Someone making trouble within the organization, he can be queried and he'll be responded. If there is a punishment, demotion, or a warning or suspension, all can be done. All can be done through the platforms. So okay, I think this is the onboarding tab. So information, personal information, the address, the education, the experience, bank account, the document that has been submitted by the employee, his salary, the leaves, if he has some social media handles that can be used for his communication, and then a password, because the employee also have access to the system where they can use to request some things and access some of the project that has been assigned to them. Also attendance. It can be used to collect attendance. It can be used to collect attendance as well. And then I think in summary, because there is no time to talk about everything in detail. So, okay, and then this is a little about project name, location of the project, the project pin, employee name, and one thing I did on this project is that projects are not assigned to one person. Whenever project is created, it will be headed by a project head, but members can also be assigned. And then whenever okay, the head of the project, he can also assign tasks to each of his members. And each of that member will see the task in his dashboard, and he can make a report. So at the end of the day, once all those reports are put together, you may not you will not have to be worrying, okay, start collecting this. The reports are automatically generated for you. So you just summarize the whole thing and submit a comprehensive a comprehensive report. So and this is how it shows display what did they call it? Payment voucher, is it? Yeah, for the salary. Pay slip. So this is a look of the pay slip. And every all the employee will have access to their pay slip on a monthly basis, so they don't have to be going to the account department or finance department to collect or be asking of that. So the entire automation process that has been discussed by Mr. Olu, this is Nasara HR, and I hope, yeah, and I hope to have a conversation with many of you here on how to integrate that in your organization. Thank you very much.